Now, for all the discussion around banning social media for under-16s, one announcement that's been made is trying to make the school day phone free. Now, most teachers reading this are probably thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, it already is and has been for years. The real issue around social media and young people isn't what's happening in school. It's what's happening outside of school on addictive platforms long after the school gates have closed. Phones, it's not a school day problem. It's so much more of a life outside of school problem that is actually landing on teachers' desks the next morning. It's been backed up with some teacher tap data that shows 38% of teachers have already dealt with a pastoral incident involving WhatsApp this academic year. In primary, it's worse. 44% of primary school teachers have dealt with a WhatsApp-related issue, even though the minimum age 13 plus. That's not kids sneaking phones in lessons. That's group chats at night. It's fallouts, it's screenshots, arguments, bullying. And then the teachers are having to deal with it. Meetings, parents, safeguarding logs, CPOMs after CPOMs, calming children down, all because of something that's happened at 9 o'clock at night. So when you realise how many of these incidents end up being reported, written up, followed through by teachers on top of everything else they do, it suddenly makes sense why 97% of teachers support restricting social media. Not because they're anti-tech, but because it's relentlessly increasing their workload. I know pretty much every teacher will broadly agree with what the EdSec is saying here. The bit I think we're all going to go, oh, you're joking, is getting Ofsted involved, where they're going to be inspecting schools on the implementation of their mobile phone policies. Because as soon as they're involved, then it's just a nightmare. Because now it's not just, have you got a policy? It's prove it's working, prove it's consistent, prove every adult applies it the same way every day in every situation. Because if you don't, we're going to pick you up and fail you on it. Anyone who's worked in a real school knows consistency is always the aim, but the reality can be messy. But we also know a lot of inspectors don't care about that. And this is the bit that really frustrates me, because for me, it just proves that the inspection process is not about trust or support. It's about finding flaws. It's about catching schools out, trying to highlight moments where real life doesn't line up neatly with a policy on paper. And that increases pressure, workload for leaders and staff, not because they're necessarily doing a bad job, but because they're human. But the inconsistencies between inspectors just makes all that worse. Just can't help but think adding another accountability measure that schools are judged on is only going to add stress, pressure and more workload. I'm not against phone-free schools. Pretty much every teacher is in favour of what the EdSec's seeing here. We can all see the benefits for focus, for well-being, but tying this more tightly to the inspection, it just risks turning sensible guidance into another way schools feel they can be caught out rather than being properly supported with this wider issue. Because if we're serious about tackling the impact social media is having on young people, guess where it starts? It starts at home, because teachers are already spending huge amounts of time dealing with the fallout of things that are already completely out their control. But now having Ofsted breathing down our necks, trying to catch us out, isn't going to help anyone. Schools already have enough on their flipping plate.